Okay, let's start this again because my brain isn't working. You're free to laugh at me if you want, Corey. I know I'm smart. It's just... Okay. That's right. Right, babe? So, hi everyone, it's Miranda. So you're probably here from the last video talking about why I started using reusable pads and my experiences with them, why I'll probably keep using them. But yeah, this video is for statistics and a bunch of research that I did. I'm going to explain to you like why it's such a good alternative and how they're environmentally friendly and why having a bag like this is good for the environment and good for your health. So let's get started. Okay, so I have a lot of info here. I have about, I don't know, 4 or 5 pages worth of info that I've gotten off of the internet. I'm going to try and edit this in order just so my math doesn't seem crazy out of place. But it is a lot of information and I'm probably going to be looking down at this book just so I get my thoughts in order. The pros of these reusable pads, okay, is that depending on how well you take care of them, how you wash them, depending on how tough you are on them, how much you bleed, like there's a lot of different factors that go into how long they're going to last. But like the Hannah pads, they last about 4 years. Other pads say last about 6 years. They can last more, up to 10 years, depending on how rough you are with them. Pads are made from like the petroleum industry and forestry. The absorbent core is chlorine bleached with wood pulp. And yeah, what was that? Fluff pulp or something? Yeah, fluff pulp is in pads. For slimmer products, polyacrylate gels? Is that right?
Polyacrylic?
Acrylate.
Yeah.
Polyacrylate gels, like polymer, I guess, is used because it absorbs quickly and holds it in suspension under pressure. That's what Google told me. Talking about the trees, they use trees for fluff pulp. So they use for like how absorbent the pads are. Yeah, what they use for the inner part of it. For the past few years, like CBC, news outlets, articles, pads and tampons have actually been recalled over the years because of all the chemicals and stuff that are in them. And honestly, I feel like now that I've done some research on disposable pads, it's kind of like a drug. Like you never really know everything that's in it, like what you're getting. And like some chemicals found in pads are, I don't even know how to pronounce these. Babe, can you tell me if I'm pronouncing these wrong?
I'll try.
Styrene, Chloroethane, Chloroform, Chloromethane.
Chloroform?
Yeah.
So you're saying if I take a pad and put it over someone's face, they'll black out?
You know those photos of people using weird things for masks for coronavirus, and then one guy had like a pad strapped to his face?
Yeah.
Yeah, chloromethane actually has been proven to have neurological effects. And there's a lot of plastic in pads anyways. So yeah, you don't even know what you're putting, like, you don't even know what's touching your vagina in a sense. And I feel like a lot of these chemicals, like, you don't want to be downstairs. The reusable pads, they're organic cotton or organic bamboo, and that means they have no pesticides or herbicides, and they're unbleached. They're also good for like skin sensitivities and people with allergies. I know other women who use reusable pads, and they found they don't actually have as bad as like menstrual cramps anymore. I haven't experienced that. I feel like the cramps are just part of the cycle, but other studies have shown that the disposable pads with the chemicals in them and the bleaches, like the bleach and the dyes, they actually have an effect on your downstairs region. So it is a possibility that the chemicals and stuff down there can cause worse cramps and can mess up your cycle. Let's say you use, on a high scale, you use 6 pads a day for a whole week. A period can last between 2 to 8 days. Let's say you have a heavy flow every single day. Use 6 pads every day for 7 days. That's 42 pads. you wash them all at the end of the week, and then you use those same pads again the next month. These pads can last up to 10 years. You're only using 42 pads for 10 years. When usually women will go through 324 pads a year. Got that from a period lasts 3 to 8 days, depending on the flow. I'm just going to go, let's say it lasts the whole 8 days. I've had some periods that only last 2 days. Not often, but that's just a very lucky woman. Sometimes I've had a period that lasted 2 weeks, which really sucks. Some women are like that, okay? I'm going to average on the high side. So 3 to 8 days, and then people usually change their pad every 6 to 8 hours, so average that out to 7 hours. So you have 8 days times 24, because there's 24 hours in the day. That's 192 hours during your period, and then you change your pad every 7 hours. So that averages out to about 27 pads or tampons every time you have your period. For tampons, you'd be changing them more frequently because when you pee, you'd have to remove the tampon. I don't know any women that keeps the tampon in when they pee, because then it's just going to absorb the pee and not the blood. So yeah, tampons, yeah, it's not healthy. So you'd probably change your tampon more frequently than a pad. Roughly 27 pads per period that you're throwing out. A package usually has about 18 pads in it, or 18 tampons, depending on whether you buy the brand Always, Kotex, Tampax, Playtex, Equate. It all depends. Like sometimes you can get a package that has 10 tampons, sometimes you can get pads that have 40, 50. Yeah, so there's really, I don't know, it's kind of pointless to do math for that. It all depends. Like with the different brands and stuff out there, there's also like liners, ultra thin, thin, regular, heavy flow, extra heavy, overnight, tampons, different sizes, light, regular, super. So the price obviously ranges, especially from country to country. Especially from wearing tampons all the time, especially as a teenager, like personally, I just find they dry out your vagina. And then, like even the cotton ones, like they're not, like yeah, they're absorbent, but I find they absorb the natural moisturizer, like the natural moisture in your vagina anyways, and then your vagina feels dried out, and when you have to remove it, it's not comfortable. And those cardboard ones, like I don't even want to talk about those. Like I just think they're so stupid. Like I find it hurts to put up there like a piece of cardboard, and then yeah, no, I hate it. Like, they're at my school and I know they're cheap and it's great and they do the job, but I don't like putting things up my vagina like that. Like unless I have to. Doing math as well, like for the cheap tampons and pads you can get, like you can get a box of Tampax tampons for just $11.99. So that means each tampon is 24 cents. Pack of 40 tampons is $7.77. So 19 cents each. So if I don't overestimate it and then just go with like 20 cents each, it's for pads and tampons. Each pad, each tampon is 20 cents times 324 a year. That's just $64.80. It's not that much. You spend more going to the bar on a weekend. But still, that's not the point. Times that by 35, that's about $2,000 just for your whole period lifetime. Which isn't that much, I guess. But honestly, I feel like with the amount of pads I have right here, I probably spent about $300 on them. I'm going to talk into how expensive they are as well. I did buy really expensive ones, and then I bought really cheap ones. So you can go with the cheap ones, and it's really not that much. But I feel like with the haul I did, because I wanted to test them out, $300. But honestly, I think all of these are going to last me. Okay, so the average pack of pads or tampons comes with 18. So let's say you use 27 pads a month. Times that by 12, you're using 324 pads a year. Yeah, so you use 324 pads a year. You're buying 18 packs of the pack of 18 pads per year. So 18 packages that you're buying a year. Packages can range between like $5 to $10. So I guess in a sense it's really not that much money. It's just a bunch of waste and garbage and plastic that you don't need to be putting in the landfill. Spending 90 bucks a year, I guess, it's really not that bad. But 90 bucks a year times 35 years, because usually the average woman has her period up to 35 years. 90 times 35?
90
Yeah.
times 35?
Yeah.
3,150.
So you spend $3,150 doing your whole period menstrual cycle life.
That's actually not that much.
It's not that much, but then...
You're murdering trees.
Yeah.
Stop using paper towel.
Yeah.
Use dishcloth. That's what they're for.
Although,
Breaking
yeah.
up spills. They work great, you reuse them. Screw Bounty.
I hope they can hear you say that. But yeah, talking about that though, like, it's only like $3,000 a year. Hannah Pads on their website says that it's an average of $4,000 a year on pads in a lifetime. Although, if we go back to you using 324 pads a year for 35 years, that means you're throwing out 11,340 pads a year.
A year?
Or not a year, sorry, in your lifetime. 11,000.
Because that's like 100 trees.
11,000 pads is like 100 trees?
Gotta be more than that, probably.
Yeah. Either way, you're losing $4,000 and you're putting 11,000 pads in the landfill. Just in the US, every single year, people throw out 12 billion pads and 7 billion tampons. Discard a year just in the States. That's disgusting. That's more disgusting than you having to wash out the blood out of your cloth tampon, like cloth pads. Like, that's just ridiculous, I think. Like, I've never really thought about this before until now. Like, even when I first started using reusable pads, I knew it was good for the environment. But then when I started looking at the statistics for this video, I was just like, oh my god, that's crazy. I couldn't find anywhere about what it says with, like, the amount of trees and stuff that is used to make the disposable pads. Like, I could see why they're convenient, especially with thongs. Like, man, like, have you worn a thong and tried to put a pad on it? Like, it sticks so stupid, and it sticks on your jeans, and then the thong liners, I hate them too, because they have the, like, little wings, and then they stick, and just, in my last video, I talked about how I hate it. Okay, so let's crack this myth to see if it's actually cheaper in the long run to get disposable pads or reusable pads. So, going back to how I spent a lot of money on some pads as opposed to others. Some I got a pack for like $11. Some I spent like $150 on just like 6 pads. So yeah, total $300. And let's go with that, okay? So for $300, I got about 35 pads. I roughly counted 32, so let's go 35, okay? I roughly spent $300 on about 35 pads. There's 24 hours in a day, and on average, a woman changes her pads every 6 to 8 hours, so let's go 6. That means I use 4 pads a day, times 7 if my cycle lasts 7 days. That's 28 pads a week. And then I wash them and whatever. These pads can last up to 10 years if I take really good care of them. If those 28 pads last me for 10 years, like, I'd say the max before you should probably switch them out and buy new ones, that's only 98 pads you're using for your whole, like, lifetime. Plus, these are compostable, so, like, they break down and it's better than plastic. Using 28 pads a week, $300 for 35 pads, and then $240 for 28 pads. If I have to purchase new pads every 10 years and a period lasts 35 years, I'm spending $840 for the whole time I have my period throughout my life. $840, and the average woman spends between $2,000 to $4,000 throughout her lifetime on pads. For the minimum amount, so some sites say the pads can last up to 4 years. If you're changing out your little pad haul every 4 years, you're spending $240 every 4 years, times up by 8.75, and then you get $2,100. So for your whole period lifetime, you're spending $2,100. And that is roughly the same as the minimum amount that a woman spends on disposable pads throughout her lifetime. So I say it's like kind of the same there. I feel like, yeah, it's expensive, but it's still cheaper in the long run than the amount that you spend on disposable, wasteful ones that get just thrown in the landfill and in the ocean and affect the planet and the ecosystem. Let's get into the pricing for the pads that I actually did buy. Okay, so I got the Hannah pads, Alva Baby, Timoy, No Name off of Amazon. I got the Hesta, Fit Tile, and then the mesh bag set. The Hannah pads on the actual website, a 6-piece package, is $72.30 US, so that's $94.67 Canadian. Or you can get a mixed liner set, so they have different sizes, 3 big ones, 2 small ones, so you're getting 5 pads, and that is $84.41 Canadian. This is plus shipping as well. A single Hannah pad is $15.70. That is a lot of money compared to the 20-cent tampon or 20-cent pad from the Walmart packages, but you're not wasting them.
For the ones I actually got off of Amazon, for 2 small ones, it's $29.99. For 2 panty liners, it's $25.99. And for 1 medium, it's $19.99. So $20 just for one of the Hannah pads, unless you get more than one, and then it's about $15.
For Alva Baby, for a 3-piece large set, it is $14.26. For a 3-piece small is $11.12. The bag that they come in, like if you want to get an extra bag, the set comes with a bag, but if you want to get an extra one, it's like $2, $1.96. This is plus shipping as well. Timoy I got off of Amazon, so there's no shipping costs because I have Prime, but a 10-pack of all one size is $34.99 Canadian. The No Name one, the 6-piece, which is 10 inches, the regular with the bag, it's $19.99 Canadian.
For the Hesta brand, just for 1 piece, it's $35.63 Canadian dollars just for 1 overnight wing pad, which is the one I got. And then for 1 large winged Hesta pad, it's $32.11. Yeah, so for 1 pad, it's over $30. The Fit Tile, which is the 2-piece thin ones I got, that are my favorite, and they actually don't make them anymore. They're $12 for the 2, so $6 a pad. For the mesh bags, it's $9.90 for a 4-pack. You get 3 small ones, I think, and then 1 large one.
Looking back on my orders and just looking on their websites, I mean, they probably changed the prices too since the 2 years ago that I actually bought them. I hope you enjoyed this very in-depth video. I'm being completely honest here. These are facts. At least in my head, they're facts. I did the research. I looked up different websites to get different ideas, average out things. Pretty much the pros of the reusables are that they last 4 to 6 years or more. Some people say they last 10 years. They go into the compost bin, they break down. Unwanted toxic chemicals, they're unbleached, non-dyed organic cotton or bamboo. you're not spending $4,000 on pads in your lifetime. You're spending between $900 and $2,000 a lifetime. If you don't even want to spend any money on pads throughout your life, because I mean, money is essential and everyone loves money and everyone wants to save. A lot of people say like women shouldn't be able to pay for pads and tampons and stuff, right?
Have to.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to. So if you don't want to spend money and go with a system like that, you can just make your own from pillowcases, towels, sheets. There's a bunch of do-it-your-own videos online and on YouTube and on Google about how to make them, and they're pretty much what I have right here. You just make them yourself. It goes back to the whole cloth story where sometimes if I'm in an emergency state, I just use a washcloth and I put it downstairs and go to bed. So, I mean, yeah. Long story short, changing the world one pad at a time. I think I got that off of the Tree Hugger website, but it's so true. Yes, this is my honest opinion and all of the research I actually did, so you can find out for yourself whether this is something for you or not, if you're going to stick with disposable pads or reusable ones. But here's some good information for you to decide. 24 hours in a day, divide by, I change my pad every 6 hours. That's 4 pads a day, okay?
44 hours?
Did I say 44?
I think you did.
Okay, 24 hours. Wait, it's going to be a time editing. 24... It just sucks because if I need my calculator, I need to use my phone and then I turn the video off. I love you.
Love you too.
Ugh, it's not started yet. Okay, now I get what I wrote. So let's start over. So 8 times 24 is 192 hours divided by... So... Babe, so I don't have to turn my camera off. What's 5 times 18? You know?
$90.
90? If I...
You just gotta write down exactly what you're gonna say. And just hold the book up and be like, this took me way too long, so I wrote it out. I'm just gonna read it.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want to keep up with any more content that I make. Subscribe to my channel to keep up to date. Like this video if you thought it was helpful. You can dislike this video if you think the pricing is kind of ridiculous. If you think it's disgusting. I hope you have a good day and we shall see you next Monday. At the bottom here is to go back to the reusable pad video before this one, and then this one here is to go to me talking about my cotton panties and why I started wearing them. So yeah, have a good day. Bye.